Welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube today. Hello friends, your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Floyer here, joined as always by the phenom Michael Bullock, the Twisted Angel D.D. Woodson, awaiting the presence of good old MF Michael Fletcher. I don't know if he'll be here or not. If he comes in, we'll catch him up on what he missed. If not, then hopefully we'll see him tomorrow night on the Cerebral Smack Talk. But for right now, yes, we had another edition of Monday Night Raw, but here's the thing. The only reason why it was actually better than last week was because of the fact that this was a newsworthy show. This happened to be a newsworthy show, even though it was a black show again. But let's dive on in. Monday Night Raw, the penultimate edition, the second to last Raw before WrestleMania. And it was live from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, the home of the Bruins and the Celtics. And we started it off with the Raw Women's Champion, Rowdy Ronda Rousey. Of course, the news broke today, and it is official. Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair, their triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania is going to be the main event. Whoa, boy. But Ronda Rousey, of course, cuts another scathing promo. She gets interrupted by Becky Lynch. And then Charlotte Flair came out, and the Riot Squad came out because they had Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky compete in a Beat the Clock challenge against all three members of the Riot Squad. Ronda Rousey defeats Sarah Logan in 1:25. Charlotte Flair could not beat Ruby Riott in that time. But Becky Lynch defeated Liv Morgan in 1:18. So Becky Lynch wins the Beat the Clock challenge. But I'll say it like this, though. The opening was successful in terms of putting the WrestleMania main eventers on camera together, giving Becky a quick win, and making the Riot Squad look terrible. WWE's Beat the Clock gimmick only works better when they have something at stake beyond bragging rights. However, when it comes to the main event of WrestleMania, what we're going to do here is simply this. We're not going to talk about the Beat the Clock challenge because that was garbage. What I do want to address is the women getting the opportunity. The news broke this afternoon that Ronda, Becky, and Charlotte will be officially the main event of WrestleMania 35. And quite frankly, this is not a surprise. I mean, we had a feeling it was going to happen. We knew in our guts and our hearts it was going to happen, but there was that small part of us that was thinking, are they really going to have the cojones, if you will, to actually do it? Because you've got Brock Lesnar, who they always want to make sure main events WrestleMania. He did so last year. So, no, the Beast will not be in the main event of WrestleMania. Thank God. So, it was only a matter of time. From the first Hell in the Cell match, Elimination Chamber, tables, Last Woman Standing, Women's Iron Woman matches, Women's Tag Team Championships, and now at long last they have come full circle. Come April 7th at MetLife Stadium. It's going to be super late. It's probably going to be like around 11:30 or midnight by the time we get to it. But nonetheless, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch are going to be the main event of WrestleMania. And like I said on my Facebook post when I reported this, damn right. They deserve it. It's very simple. Nothing more to say. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. We're not going to talk about the Beat the Clock if that was garbage.
Fine.
What I want us to get into, and hopefully we don't take too much time on this because I want to get this show done like within an hour if we can.
Okay.
Well, like Didi, I hope you heard that. But nonetheless, your thoughts on the big announcement that I broke. I broke this afternoon.
Yep.
Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair. It is official. They are going to be the main event of WrestleMania 35. History made?
It is. It's not only just history made. It's a defining moment in wrestling as we know it. For the first time ever in any major wrestling organization, AAA never did it. TNA never did it. New Japan has never done it. For the first time ever, the biggest show of the year, WrestleMania, will be main evented by women. 35 WrestleManias that we're about to witness. This is the 35th WrestleMania. From 85 to now, it was always a man running the show, taking the main event spot, and closing the showcase of the Immortals. And at this WrestleMania, WrestleMania 35, that's going to be at MetLife on April 7th, for the first time ever, women will get to close the show. The women's evolution has come full circle, and it could not have happened to these three. These are the best of the best in wrestling today. Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Ronda Rousey deserves and has earned the moment to be in the main event of WrestleMania. It is truly a happening. It is going to be something else. And yes, Anthony, history was made tonight and earlier today when we found out that they got the main event of WrestleMania. And now it just is going to be even more bigger to know that that marquee is with them three at the front of the line, overlooking their peers and everything that they did from way back when with Fabulous Moolah and Mae Young to some of the others like Luna Vachon, Sherry Martel, Miss Elizabeth, to Sable, Marlena, Sunny, to Trish, Lita, Molly Holly, Victoria, Jackie Gata, or I should say Jacqueline Moore, to that realm, to the newer realm of the Kelly, Maria Canales, Eve Torres, to now to the ones that are in WWE now, the Riot Squad, Sasha Banks, Bailey, to know that these are the three that are the flag bearers of this women's evolution is the most remarkable thing to say. But not only that, for them, for the past, the present, and definitely the future of women's wrestling, this is the glass ceiling moment. They shattered it. They deserve it. Congratulations to the three. Michael Bullock, there's nothing more to say. It's all yours.
Yes, like you said, this was history in the making. I mean, we knew this was going to that these we heard rumors that this was going to be the main event, but now it's official, and all I can say is I cannot wait. I can certainly not wait for this main event. I mean, these women have worked hard to get this opportunity to be in the main event, and you know, somewhere up in the heavens above, the greats like the fabulous Moolah, Mae Young, and all the great women who set the bar, and now we got we got these three headlining WrestleMania, making it the main event, and all I can say is this is one I'm definitely going to be looking forward to. So Fletch pretty much broke down everything. So Dee Woodson, it's official. The women are going to close out WrestleMania.
That they are. Um, who would have thought that the women's title would end up being the top mark for WrestleMania, and here we are. We've come to that point, and just little less than 2 weeks. Here we are going to have WrestleMania, and these three women standing tall in the main event, and showcasing what they can do, and who wants it more. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be definitely history in the making to actually have the women actually headline and main event WrestleMania. So not much more I'm going to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
History making indeed, and the only thing I can say is when we get to that match, I'm definitely going to have flashbacks of Triple H, Chris Benoit, and Shawn Michaels, because it's going to be like that epic main event all over again. That's all I can say. So, well deserved. About damn time. All right. Then we had a 2-on-1 handicap match. Finn Balor. It was supposed to be against Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, but Lio Rush pulled out, and he put in Jinder Mahal instead. So we had 3 Jabroni Squad members outside, the little idiot Lio Rush and the Singh brothers. But nonetheless, somehow, some way, Finn Balor overcomes the odds. He wins this handicap match in 4 minutes and 45 seconds, and by doing so, Finn Balor will now challenge Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Match is obviously a throwaway, but MF, a quick thought about Balor and Lashley. Honestly, they never should have taken the belt off Lashley. Lashley should have still been champion at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, understandable, no doubt about it. But they needed it to do it, and we'll wait and see what's going to transpire at WrestleMania. But I will say this. Michael Bullock, the diehard New England Patriot fan, the little idiot, created a hornet's nest and kind of took a shot at Rob Gronkowski. And yeah, a couple of people because I was watching this with Jack Connor and a lot of the DCW guys tonight, because we were watching it online, because for some odd reason my USA Network was acting really funky tonight for me. So I don't know what the hell happened, but I was watching it online by various means. My buddy linked me, and let me tell you, one of my good friends, Craig McManus, who's a diehard Patriot fan, man, when Lio Rush took that shot about Gronk, let's just say the gloves came off, and I can't repeat some of the stuff that he said, but like you said, Anthony, why did they do it? I don't know. Extra fight for WrestleMania. That's all I say. Bullet, go.
Yeah, I heard that too, and when I heard that little idiot take a shot at Rob Gronkowski, I'm like, you stinking idiot. I mean, if Rob Gronkowski were around right now, he'd probably tackle you right through that screen thing that's on the stage there, and then give one good old Gronk spike for good measure. So watch what you say, you little idiot. So yeah, as far as the match is concerned, I mean, I'm glad they're doing this at WrestleMania, but I do agree with Anthony Florio. If they were going to do this, they never should have taken the belt off of Bobby Lashley in the first place. They should have kept it on him and then have Finn Balor win it at WrestleMania. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to say on it. Dee Dee Whitson, I give it to you.
Yeah, this is going to be a good match. Of course, we've seen this over and over and over and over and over again, all the way leading up to this. Yeah, I'll agree with the sentiments on Lashley and Balor here, but the match is kind of getting old only because of the fact that leading all the way up here to WrestleMania, that's all we've seen is these two fighting each other, either with Lio Rush, with Strowman, with Mahal, whatever. We've had some form of these two fighting, and I think it's about time that we put an end to the storyline between Lashley and Balor and just move on. Tonight was a good win for Balor. It showed that he could take on the big men and keep up with them and actually put them down, even with the extra little idiots all outside. So yeah, not much more I'm going to say about it. Florio, it's yours.
One question comes to mind. Will the Demons show up on WrestleMania Sunday? If so,
yes,
I think we could use a beatdown from Lashley on Balor maybe next week. So that's really all I can say on that. So all right. We had in our next matchup, we had the Revival squaring off against Ricochet and Aleister Black. Ricochet and Aleister Black, they win the match in 9 minutes. Michael Bullock, this ended up being one of the first decent fights of the night right here.
Yeah, this was a decent fight here. I'll give it about 2.5 stars here. I mean, yeah, I mean this was a good tag team match, and who won it again, Florio? I couldn't quite remember.
What's the question?
Oh, who won the match?
Ricochet and Black.
Oh yeah, all right. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I mean this was a nice win for Aleister Black and Ricochet. I mean, it gives them some kind of momentum, and who knows if they could be in line for a future shot at the Raw Tag Team titles. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. So 2.5 stars is my rating. D.D. Woodson, I give it to you.
I could actually go with this one to almost a 3 stars. I mean, it was a very well done match. I don't really have anything real super bad to say about it. These guys, I thought did pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Florio.
2.5 to 3. It's another loss for the Revival, and you have to imagine it's going to lead to a Raw Tag Team Championship match at WrestleMania, possibly with Ricochet and Black going over and winning the belts. But just imagine how much bigger it would have felt if the Revival had been made to actually look strong heading into a first ever meeting with Ricochet and Black. But instead, the Revival lose repeatedly on television, and we've seen them work with Ricochet and Black several times already. What a damn shame. But other than that, solid match though. One of the few bright spots when it comes to matches. So this was about 2.5 to 3 for me. So nothing more to say. MF, I mean, Revival finally get their moment. They win the titles, but
they haven't done nothing with it. They haven't done nothing with it, and it's a damn shame. You kind of have to question WWE's motives. You say, that you're listening to the fans and everything else. The fans are definitely behind the Revival, yet you're burying them. I don't understand the logic at all. It's just, I don't know. I kind of feel like about it more than anything else. 2.5 to 3, definitely. And actually, they do get a future shot at the Raw Tag Team Championship with that win tonight. I don't know if that was kind of lost in the shuffle where you guys probably didn't notice it, but it was talked about in commentary that if Ricochet and Black did win, that they would get a future shot down the line, but they didn't. I don't think there was a championship committee called, but definitely I was think they never necessarily said if it was for WrestleMania or maybe next week for Raw in Washington, but we do know that they're supposed to get a shot at the belt sometime down the line. So we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, this is kind of championship committee type stuff, but nothing more to say. Florio, go.
Then we had the Scottish Psychopath, Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes out and he demands an answer from Roman Reigns because last week on Raw in Chicago, he challenged the big dog to a match at WrestleMania. And in doing so, he went there. Usually it's SmackDown Live that goes there, but he went there. He brought up his wife, he brought up his children, and that's all it took for the big dog to not only accept the challenge, but to get physical with McIntyre. So now it's official. At WrestleMania 35, it will be Drew McIntyre versus Roman Reigns one-on-one. Good angle in terms of Reigns standing up for himself, yet not getting his revenge. I do like that McIntyre got the better of Reigns again. These two should have a hell of a WrestleMania match. There's no doubt about it. So we're looking at a good 3.5 to 4 easy when it comes to these two bodies of work. No doubt about this. So MF, I know you're a SmackDown guy, but at the same time, this match from Raw with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, this has smash mouth, physical, be a man fight all over it.
Oh, absolutely. No, I agree with that. I think this is going to be a hard hitting bout. This is going to be one of those where, yeah, you're going to see a lot of drama. You're going to see a lot of physicality. Don't expect to see much in the way of wrestling moves. I think this is going to be basically a pure 6 brawl. Knockdown, drag out, in your face. Basically, don't expect any high aerial acrobatics or anything like that. This is going to be ground and pound MMA style fighting. It's going to be a good fight. I'm excited to see the match. I think this is going to be a decent fight. I think 3 might be a little cutting it. I could see at least 2.5, 2 3/4. I could see that happening at WrestleMania. But look, one thing you don't do in wrestling, you don't bring up family, you don't bring up the wife, you don't bring up the kids. McIntyre did. Roman came out, and that was it. The battle was on, and you knew the minute he went there, either Roman had an answer for it, or fans were gonna go after Roman for saying, "What the hell you doing? This guy just went after your family, man. You showed me a set." So, no, definitely interesting to watch. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it got personal and very fast.
Oh yeah, it definitely got personal very fast. I mean, the moment Drew McIntyre brought up his wife and his kids, I was like, "Oh shit, this is not gonna end well." I mean, Roman's probably back there pissed off, and he's probably like, and he did come out and accept it, and he says, but do me a favor, don't you ever bring up my wife and kids again. And then it was on, and it looked like Roman had the upper hand, but one low blow changed it, and then the Claymore. So yeah, so Roman and Drew at WrestleMania, I mean, I think it could be a good 3, maybe 3.5 as far as I'm concerned. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, Drew McIntyre went there.
Yeah, I'd say this is teetering on what we had with Joe and AJ Styles over on SmackDown. We're getting not quite as intense, but we're teetering that little line where we're just starting to get to that point. Because he went there. He brought in the personal issue, just like Joe did with Styles. Joe brought in that little personal thing, going after AJ's daughter and his wife, and so yeah. You want to be a man fight? I think you're going to have it with this one, just because McIntyre crossed the line, and that's one thing you don't do. You don't cross a line with anybody's family, let alone man, woman, whatever. I mean, that's just something you don't do. So, yeah, not much more I'm going to say about it. Floyo, it's yours.
And then a little, then it gets interesting here. Just want to look into this. Okay. We had Sasha Banks, Boston, Massachusetts' own Sasha Banks, squaring off against Natalya. It goes to a no contest. It's an NA. We're not going to waste any time because, it's a no contest. That's an automatic NA. I know MF, Bullock, and Didi will agree with me on this sense. It is an NA. I mean, it seemed like they were expecting a big ovation for Sasha in her hometown, but it didn't really happen during the ring entrances. Fans got into the fight, after the break. And it was nice to hear Beth Phoenix get a favorable reaction at the end of the segment. Now, there was a backstage moment with Sasha and Bayley with Charlie Caruso. And Sasha said, if they all want to come for us, we'll fight all of them at WrestleMania. Now, I don't know what that means. We're going to have to, dig a little deeper into this. But, we're definitely headed for a women's tag team championship match at WrestleMania. It's not going to be a straight up tag team match, player. Oh no, it's probably going to be the Fatal 4-Way. It's probably going to be Sasha and Bayley against the Iconics, against Natalya and Beth Phoenix, and against Nia Jax and Tamina. But I don't see anything official in that regard. So
I don't know, Florio. I mean, with her saying that, that she'll take on all I think Sasha might have just accidentally opened a Pandora's box that probably should not have been opened. If you notice, there hasn't been an announcement of a women's battle royale yet. Is it possible that we have a women's battle royale for the women's tag team titles?
I would love to see that.
Because that might be the only thing I could think of that would open the door for every woman to be a part of WrestleMania. And on top of that, it also will open the door for NXT. It will open the door for the NXT UK.
Yep.
So I think we might be on the virtual path where we might have a women's battle royale for the women's tag team titles. I think that might be happening at WrestleMania.
If it does, that would be something. That would be something. But we'll have to wait and see what happens as soon as we get anything about that. So nothing more to say here. Cutout segment, absolutely right here. Moment of Bliss, Alexa Bliss. She had Braun Strowman and the two clowns from Saturday Night Live. Painful segment. But the live crowd, they took the bait on the cheap heat gimmick by chanting Yankees suck due to that guy with the hat. I mean, I know their names, but I just don't give a damn about them. I'm not even going to dignify them in any way because this is a stupid celebrity angle. It did nothing for me. However, WWE should be able to get some mainstream attention for those two clowns being in the Battle Royal. So, yes. Colin Jost, Michael Che, those are the clowns from Saturday Night Live, and they're going to be in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. So help me God, if they put one of those guys over, that would be an instant insult. Because here's the thing. You created that Battle Royal to honor the legacy of Andre the Giant. You put one of those two clowns over. So help me God on that. When we do our recap, I am not going to hold back. That's all I'm going to say. So be forewarned. So done, move on. But I did forget to mention that after the women's match, it was announced that the Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, they're going into the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2019. And what else is there to say? Only 2 championships and accomplishments, believe it or not. They ranked number 37 of the top 100 tag teams of the PWI years in 2003. 2-time co-holders of the then WWF Tag Team Championship. And then, of course, going into the Hall of Fame. Their first title win was as a heel faction against the British Bulldogs, the whole Danny Davis saga. We all remember that Superstars of Wrestling at the Sundome in Tampa, Florida, early 87. They held them pretty much almost the entire year before losing them to the Strike Force. Rick Martel and Tito Santana. And then from there, their second win, of course, coming at the 1990 SummerSlam, that amazing 2 out of 3 falls match with Demolition. where they won it there, and then they held them until WrestleMania 7, lost them to the Nasty Boys, and then they split up, and then you know the story. Bret Hart, megastar. That's all I can say. Bret Hart went on to have a Hall of Fame career, and I think personally this was done to, you know, honor the posthumous inductee, which would be Jim the Anvil Neidhart in this case, because, you know, the Anvil passed away last summer. Actually, it was the week before SummerSlam. He passed away last year. So, but it is a nice touch. I mean, I wish they would have done it sooner. But you have to imagine Bret will be there. You got to imagine Natalia's going to induct them. And, you know, they had so many classic matchups, you know, for they took on all great tag teams, you know, the Killer Bees, the Strike Force, the Rougeaus, when they were faces and heels, the Islanders, and of course, perhaps their greatest rivalry of all time, the British Bulldogs. I mean, those were instant classics all around every time. And Demolition, obviously, their squash of the Bolsheviks at WrestleMania 6, Rhythm and Blues, and the Nasty Boys. You know, you name any great tag team, they took them on. And they did it with such awesomeness. And, you know, Bret Hart known for his technical ability, the Anvil known for his power. And I, as a Hart family mark, could not be any more happy for this moment. And, you know, well deserved, to say the very least. 2 tag teams going in, and this year we're going to have 3 2-time inductees: Shawn Michaels, Booker T, and now Bret Hart. So really nothing more to say on this. So I'm going to open forum this. Whoever wants to get into this next, if you want to share a brief thought about the Harts going in, well deserved, to say the very least. So, all right, MF, Hart Foundation going into the Hall of Fame.
Shocked. I when I heard that they were going in, even though there was a lot of rumors that they were going in, I kind of thought that, you know, they weren't, because when Harlem Heat went in, or that Harlem Heat's going in, that I was thinking, all right, that's probably going to mean that the Hart Foundation is not going in this year. But I think this is the first time ever 2 tag teams going into the Hall of Fame in the same year. I don't think that's never happened before. So this is unprecedented, even for me. Obviously, very emotional moment. We saw the tears overwhelmingly for Natalya. Rightfully so. She deserves, you know, after all the stuff she's gone through for the past year, from losing her father, now she gets to see her father basically walk with the immortals of the Hall of Fame. Definitely gonna be a very emotional night in New York, at Brooklyn, when she goes in on April 6th. I got nothing bad to say about it. Just congratulations, Hart Foundation. Anthony, you basically eloquently said it. This was our generation, guys. This is our generation of professional wrestling. The late 1980s, early 1990s. Didi, you know it really well. Mike Bullock knows it really well. Anthony, you and I, we talk about it all the time. This was the glory era of professional wrestling. This was when wrestling was actually really awesome back in the day. So, no, I got nothing bad to say. Congratulations, Hart Foundation. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. Mike Bullock, go, man. I know you want to jump in quick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what could you say? I mean, some were surprised. I mean, because like you said, I mean, when Harlem Heat, we found out they were inducted, I thought it was like, yeah, they were. There's no way they're gonna get the Hart Foundation. We're gonna get in, but when I heard the announcement earlier today, I'm like, I was surprised, but yeah, now we're gonna have 2 tag teams to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and yeah, and you know it's gonna be an emotional night for the Hart family. I mean, for Bret Hart, and of course for Jim Neidhart's daughter Natalya. I mean, you know this was long overdue, but all I can definitely say is congratulations to the Hart Foundation, a well-deserved honor. So nothing more to say. Quick thought, Dee Dee?
Congratulations to the Hart family, to Neihart family. You know, this is awesome that they are inducting them in, especially with, you know, the Anvil passing just recently. Very touching for Natalya. Very good timing for WWE to announce it while, you know, they were still in the ring, giving her a chance, you know, to have that emotional moment in front of the crowd, and with her, you know, her best friend Beth being right there with her. So not much more I had to say about it. Florio, let's go.
Yeah, joining so many great tag teams in the Hall of Fame are the Harts, and well deserved indeed. So nothing more to say. Let's move on here. Excuse me. Baron Corbin against Apollo Crews. Baron Corbin wins the match. Live crowd didn't seem to care based on how quiet they were before, during, and after the fight. And then we had another money segment with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Seth Rollins cuts a good promo here, and then Paul Heyman comes out. Another great promo here. And I honestly don't know who leads off. I think I'm just going to open forum this the rest of the way. So, because I lost order. So, forgive me. I've had a long day. So, but anyways, solid segment. It was a solid segment with Seth Rollins continuing to be positioned as the man of the people, going into his Universal Championship match with Brock Lesnar. So Lesnar and Heyman, well, Brock Lesnar, it was announced Brock Lesnar will be in the house next week. So nothing more to say on that. So Rollins and Heyman, another great money segment. Wouldn't you guys agree?
I agree with that. It was a good money segment. It was solid. It was good. A lot of good talking that came out of it. So no, look, it's basically everybody knows it's Seth Rollins has the backing of the WWE Universe. He's got the backing of the entire IWC. The whole world wants to see him win the Universal title. Nobody wants to see Brock Lesnar walk out of WrestleMania with the Universal title. They don't want this belt to be kept hostage any more longer than it's already been. So, no, this was good, solid. I enjoyed it. Bullet, go.
Yeah, I mean, a great promo by both men. I mean, I loved how passionate Seth Rollins was, that he says that he needs to beat Brock Lesnar for the Universal title, because he knows that they need a full-time Universal Champion because of how long this Brock Lesnar continues to hold hostage that title. I mean, because he's had it held hostage for so long. I mean, I can't even count. So, yeah, I mean, great work by both men. So, Dee Dee, I give it to you.
Yeah, it was great work by both men. And I thought when Heyman took that tumble that he was going to, you know, pee his pants because he was so scared that Seth was going to go after him, which he didn't. Not physically, that is. But, yeah, it was a very well done segment. Very well done with the story building for this match. And, yeah, here we're going to get the rebuttal next week from Lesnar. We all knew Lesnar would have to be there, with it being the go-home show. But I think my favorite part ended up being when Angle came out and Heyman was still there on the ground, and of course, you know, the fans are doing "You suck," and he's pointing at Heyman. So yeah, I kind of like that part. So let's just move on to that match, shall we?
How about this? We had no idea they were going to do this match, but we got it tonight. An interpromotional match, if you will. Representing Monday Night Raw, the Hall of Famer Kurt Angle squaring off against the United States Heavyweight Champion from SmackDown Live, Samoa Joe. Winner of the match in 9 minutes, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle with a unique pinning combination, with a surprise, like a quick pinfall to win this match. For me, I gotta say this was the fight of the night. I'm gonna give this 3 to 3.25 stars. I loved the headbutt to start the match. It was a fun callback for fans who remember their TNA feud. I'm sure it was an honor for Joe to put over Angle in their last match, but it was kind of disappointing to see, the U.S. champ lose clean on TV again. I mean, that's the only little downside, but you want to keep Kurt Angle going strong, obviously, as he continues on this farewell tour. He's got some huge matches coming up. I mean, this was great tonight. I mean, you remember the great matches they had in TNA, most notably the 6 Sides of Steel cage match, Lockdown 2008 at the Songus Arena in Lowell, Mass. MF and I remember that very, very vividly. I was the Angle guy, he was the Joe guy, and Samoa Joe got his big moment, winning the TNA Heavyweight Championship from Kurt Angle in one of the greatest matches in TNA history. I suggest you go out of your way to watch it. It was that damn good. So, but anyways, Angle gets the Duke here in a good 3 to 3.25 star match. And tomorrow night, tomorrow night on SmackDown Live, another fun TNA rivalry revisited when Kurt Angle squares off against the phenomenal AJ Styles. And then next Monday night on Raw, Kurt Angle against Rey Mysterio. And there's one thing I have to say this. They haven't announced anything for SmackDown Live, but if they do this right, Kurt Angle versus the new Daniel Bryan. Book it. Come on, somebody.
It's possible. It's very possible. I could see it. If you're gonna do these kind of matches, you got to give them the best of the best. And yeah, that would be an ultimate dream fight. Kurt Angle 1-on-1 with the WWE champion. Just a few nights before WrestleMania, I could definitely see that. That would be an incredible matchup, to say the very least. I gotta say it. I enjoyed it. I loved it. This was a good fight of the night. 3 to 3.5 stars, no doubt about that. I'll give you that, Anthony. A solid matchup, great storytelling, and yeah, I mean, it was a great rivalry. But I do know that AJ and Angle, man, that could be 4 stars. That could have a 4 star. I don't think you're gonna get the 5-star rating. A couple of people were complaining that Angle looked a little sluggish in the ring tonight, which I can't completely disagree with. He did look a little off in certain areas, so I'm just gonna say 3 to 3.5. But no, this was a solid match regardless. So Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it 3 stars. I mean, this was a good match. I mean, yeah, Kurt Angle did look sluggish, but either way, I mean, this was a good match. But if you thought this was good, wait until tomorrow night on SmackDown Live, when it's going to be him and AJ Styles. And you know the long history with those two, especially in their days of TNA wrestling. And then, like you said, next week on the go home to WrestleMania edition of Monday Night Raw, Kurt Angle and the master of the 619, Rey Mysterio. I mean, that should be really good. And yes, I would love to see Kurt Angle against Daniel Bryan on the final SmackDown Live before WrestleMania, but you know what Daniel Bryan will probably say if that happens, Florio.
Ignorant. Fickle.
Yeah, he'll probably say all those things, so yeah, I really have nothing more to say. I'm just going to give it to Dee Woodson.
Yeah, I agree. It was a 3-star match. It was kind of weird to see Joe lose, but at the same time, yeah, you want Angle to look strong, being this is his farewell tour. So, it was a very well done match, and looking forward to the next couple of matches Angle has. There's no telling who his last one on SmackDown will be. I mean, it could be Daniel Bryan. That could be when they throw Cena in. It could be anybody in either locker room, seeing as they're going to be doing interpromotional again, next week on Raw. So, there's no telling what we could end up seeing for that last match before WrestleMania. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see what comes up for this match. So not much more I'd say about it. Florio, it's yours.
And then we had Triple H in the ring, basically with his rebuttal of the Batista situation. And, well, let's just say the ante has been upped for WrestleMania. We already knew it was going to be a no-holds-barred match. But now, Triple H has been forced by Batista to put his career on the line. Question: does Batista put his career on the line next week? Seeing that he's going to be in his hometown of Washington, D.C., we'll have to find out. If not, is there possibly a chance they could stretch this out somehow and have both men put their careers on the line at SummerSlam or another big event? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But nonetheless, Triple H, Batista, no holds barred, WrestleMania, the game's career on the line. Yeah, we've seen this before. WrestleMania 29, how fitting. MetLife Stadium, WrestleMania 29, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, no holds barred match. Hunter's career was on the line. Stop me if you've heard that one before. So there's, I don't know if there's anything you guys want to throw into that. So the game being forced to put his career on the line. So, but I see nobody moving here. So obviously we can, move on. But that's obviously the game having to put his career on the line. So, and then it was announced that next week on Raw, we already know we're going to see Kurt Angle against Rey Mysterio. We already know we're going to see Brock Lesnar. We're also going to see Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair as partners. Yes, 6-woman tag team match against the Riot Squad. And here's the thing. They cannot attack each other. They cannot betray each other, because if they do so, that WrestleMania main event goes hasta la bye-bye. So, ladies, play nice. I cannot wait to see those three as partners.
Oh my goodness, I cannot wait to see what happens, especially with those three egos.
It is definitely a recipe for disasters. Too many Chiefs, not enough Indians in that crew. That's all I'm saying.
Especially with the big ego of Ronda Rousey.
Didi, a rebuttal?
Oh Lord, this is going to be some heck of a match. Oh boy, yeah, I don't see how they're going to stay as a unit. By the time,
but they have to, Didi, because if they don't,
they have to. Yeah, they have to. But by the time this ends, we're going to have all HELL breaking loose. I can guarantee you that.
Amen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They're going to have to find a way to get along. And if they don't, that main event they worked their asses off for, hasta la bye-bye. So, like I said, ladies, play nice. Main event time, last man standing match, Drew McIntyre squaring off against Dean Ambrose. Drew McIntyre wins the match. I'm just trying to, get the time of the fall here. It was 9 minutes and 55 seconds. I'm going to be quite honest here. It's not often I say this, but this was not really one of the better last man standing matches. We have seen epic ones over the years. Heck, back at Evolution, Becky and Charlotte, last woman standing. That was a 5-star classic and the women's match of the year. But nowhere near as good as the Falls Count Anywhere match from 2 weeks ago, and it had no chance to be. The match didn't get enough time. The commercial break ate up what we saw on TV, and it did not help the cause. Yes, the right guy won, but it did not feel as hot or meaningful as the previous bout. So, I don't know. So, I could probably give this only 2 to 2.5. If I'm going to be honest. I mean, if you guys don't want to get into it, I don't blame you. I mean, because we've seen so many great last man standing matches, but this one, way too short. Way too short. So I think I speak on behalf of my entire panel here. So if it's okay, I just want to move on, get to our overall thoughts on the show. I'm going to throw this to Didi Woodson because I know she has to get going, as do I. So Didi, a quick thought on this second to last Raw before WrestleMania. Another crap show, but it was a little bit better because of the newsworthiness.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of newsworthiness. But then, of course, you also had several matches that were very lackluster. They just didn't do anything. They might have helped with storyline building, but, just wasn't big on anything. I mean, this beat the clock thing, I thought was kind of stupid. I mean, there was no reason for it other than, just to showcase the ladies before WrestleMania. Anybody catch Tamina's goof up tonight? Where she raised her arm up before she was even dropped. You're not supposed to raise it up, your arm up to catch yourself until right before you hit the mat. She raised it up way up here in the middle of the air, and if you look on the internet, there's a lot of little gifs on that, her little goof up. But yeah, I mean, it was still a very well done show. I'm gonna probably give it about 5 stars. Lackluster, but newsworthy. I'll give Raw that much. You don't usually say that about Raw. It's usually SmackDown that's newsworthy. This one was newsworthy and did have a lot of storyline building. So not much more I'm going to say about it. See you guys tomorrow night.
All right, Didi, we'll see you then. 5 out of 10 from me as well. I agree with Didi's rating 100%. That was my level of enthusiasm coming out of this show tonight. Yes, there are some good matches advertised. It has the potential to be a fun, crowd-pleasing show, but the build has been a mess, especially on the Monday Night Raw side. Next week, we really need a red-hot go-home show in DC. And at this point, with our luck, we're probably going to get another crap show. And this is not the time to be doing it. WrestleMania, come on. Next week, this is the last chance. If you want us to tune into this, if you want us to pay the $9.99 on the WWE Network, or those people who still believe in traditional pay-per-views and pay $100-something or whatever just to see it on traditional pay-per-view, if you really want to sell us on it, next week, you got to reach out, grab us by the throat and say, watch WrestleMania or else. Give us a reason to do so. We need a go-home show that's going to blow us out of the water. You got Lesnar coming. That's good. Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda teaming up against the Riot Squad. That's got potential. And then you got a fun, crowd-pleasing match with Kurt Angle against Rey Mysterio. When you think Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio, you cannot help but think to the opening match of SummerSlam 2002. And that match kickstarted what is, to this day, still the greatest SummerSlam in the history of that event. So, nothing more to say on this. 5 out of 10. Angle and Joe, clear fight of the night. A solid match with Aleister Black and Ricochet against the Revival. The last man standing, very disappointing. So, it's a 5 out of 10 for me. But DC, Raw, WWE, next week, grab us by the throat and give us a reason to watch WrestleMania. Done, finished, MF, take it.
4.5 out of 10 for me. Up to this point,
what happened to Fletch?
I don't know.
I mean, I know his mic is on, but
yeah, we can't hear him.
But we can't even hear him.
In the meantime, Bullock, why don't you take it first?
I'll take it for a spin. While we wait to see what what's going on with Fletch. So, yeah, I agree with him. 4.5 out of 10, and yeah, another lackluster show. I mean, this was not good at all, and all I can say is WWE Raw in Washington D.C. This is the go home show, the final Raw before WrestleMania. You better give us a reason why we should watch WrestleMania. And I'm going to say this to you, Florio, and I'm saying it right now. If this Raw sucks like it has the past couple of weeks, watch out. I'm going to go Phenom mode, and I am going to go on a Phenom rant here. And that's all I'm going to say on it. So, and if that's the case, I mean, if WWE gives us another crap show, I don't even know if we should even bother watching WrestleMania. Because if they're going to give us a crap show and next week, why should we even bother watching it? That's all I'm saying. Florio, what's yours?
That's a valid point there, boy. But come on, it's still WrestleMania. It's still the biggest event of the year, and so many great matches. I mean, especially that women's main event. So, just some food for
thought. We'll definitely still watch it, but will the other members of the IWC watch it?
Well, only time will tell.
The others will probably be like, you know what? Screw it. I got better things to do on a Sunday night than watch this garbage. I mean, yeah, the matches are going to be good, but after the way WWE has built it the last few weeks leading up to WrestleMania, why should we even waste 4 or 5 hours of our time watching it when we got better things to do on a Sunday night?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we'll wait and see. So quick Tony's take here, and Bullock, keep an eye out for MF and let me know if he comes back because I got my notes up here. So, all right, 205 Live. We had Mike Kanellis against Akira Tozawa. Mike Kanellis wins the match, 9 minutes 25 seconds, 2 3/4 star match. A pretty good match with Kanellis picking up the win he needed, but I'm still waiting for him to do something big on 205 Live to really impress. Then we had the finals of the number 1 contenders tournament, Tony Nese against Cedric Alexander. Winner of the match in 22 minutes and 20 seconds, Tony Nese. Yes, Tony Nese wins it. Tony Nese will be squaring off against Cedric Alexander for the Cruiserweight
Florio,
Championship.
Sorry to interrupt. I just got back from hearing from Fletch, and he said his
he messaged me.
All right.
So, yep, we've lost MF for the night, but that's all right. We're almost done anyway. So, 4-star match. Fairy tale journey for Tony Nese comes true as he earns a shot on the WrestleMania card in his hometown, finally breaks out of the pack. A great match that built slowly and smartly and had the crowd locked in by the finish. So there you have it. Tony Nese, Buddy Murphy, Cruiserweight Championship, WrestleMania. 7.5 out of 10. Another good show, a great main event, and a fresh challenger for Buddy Murphy. So really nothing more to say on that. So well done. So all right, let's get into Impact Wrestling real quick. Started off with Moose against Trey Miguel. Moose wins the match, 9 minutes, 20 seconds, 3-star match. Good opener. They played the size difference well, and Trey Miguel looked competitive against the bigger man. Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake against KM and Falaba. Edwards and Drake win in 5 minutes, 12 seconds. 2.5 stars. Solid match with Drake and Edwards continuing to roll. Ace Austin against Damian Hyde. Ace Austin wins 3 minutes, 10 seconds. 2 stars. Oh, it was an okay match. The good news is it was way better done than Austin's debut match. He took the whole thing, really got the shine there. Johnny Impact explaining his heel turn. Solid follow-up to the previous week, but a bit flat with very little crowd reaction. Willie Mack against Ethan Page. Willie Mack wins 5 minutes, 55 seconds, 2 3/4 stars. pretty good. I just wish they had more time as it was going well. X Division Championship on the line. Rich Swann against Sami Callihan. Rich Swann retains in 15 minutes. 3-star match. Good main event that played into the feud well. Delivered a good post-match angle. But there was no drama in regards to Sami actually winning the belt, which hurt the match. So, nothing more to say there. 6.5 out of 10. Another solid show. Following up on the recent weeks. It was again bookended by good things, while the middle was largely fine but unspectacular. So that was a 6.5 out of 10 for me. So let's quickly get into what we can expect on the next show, which will air on Friday night. Just bear with me for a minute. They try to find it. It's going to be their Against All Odds show. Okay. Su Yung against Alicia Edwards. An in-ring segment with Conan and LAX with the Lucha Brothers. Scarlett Bordeaux against Glenn Gilberti, the Disco Inferno. Tessa Blanchard calls out Gail Kim. And that's going to be hella fun. And then we had Jordan Grace and Taya Valkyrie for the Knockouts Championship. And then in the main event, Killer Cross against Brian Cage. So that's Friday night. So that's it. So Ridiculously Raw in the books for this week. We will next be with you tomorrow night, 10 p.m. immediately following SmackDown Live for the Cerebral Smack Talk. We are just going to have a SmackDown Live review. No Mikey's Mindset. So that's good news. Looking forward to that. We'll see how that goes. And then from there, Friday night, Strictly Sports, the docket has been released. And it's going to be an interesting one. Blake Bortles signing with the Los Angeles Rams. Rob Gronkowski announcing his retirement. Mike Trout signing that long-term deal with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We will preview the Elite Eight matchups. In a double main event, we will have our 2019 Major League Baseball season preview. And in the other half of the double main event, you, Michael Bullock, will be sharing your experiences from your 24-hour super plunge as part of Special Olympics Rhode Island. So you're going to be main eventing Strictly Sports Friday night. No power rankings for the second week in a row. So that's awesome. So that'll be on Friday. And that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF over on Brace Bay 95, immediately following SmackDown Live. It's your ridiculous silver good brother Anthony Florio here. For the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher, Didi Woodson, and Derek Ferrera. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Tuesday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, keep it watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Zone 25 on YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long. Bye, everybody. Bye.